Hi, I'm Henry. I grew up in a Christian home, but in my teen years, I made excuses and thought I could believe in God without church. Then I was in a car accident, got broadside at 60 miles an hour and rolled my vehicle 3 times and went unconscious. And 2 years later, I fell into a basement and again I hit my head and I went unconscious. A few years later, I was reaching for a rafter on a roof. I lost my balance and I fell down, pulling the rafter behind me, and it hit me in the head and I went in the hospital again. I used to have horses. I don't remember the number of times I fell off a horse. One horse even came back and rolled on top of me. Those were big events in my life, but it took an incident in my back to change my life. An x-ray showed 3 or 5 vertebrae were completely deteriorated. There was nothing they could do. A specialist said to get a wheelchair, he said, you have less than 6 months. That hit me hard. I was 40 years old and my life could have been over. I wasn't polite and I stormed out of there mad as could be. That year, my niece had taken my daughter to TMP. She enjoyed the children's program so much she wanted to go back. I said, are you nuts? We live an hour away. I'll take you once, but don't expect me to do it all the time. I didn't know anything about the meeting place. The next week's service spoke directly to me. So I came again, and I've been coming ever since. I was 43 years old and had always thought you had to be good enough to be a Christian, but you're never good enough. It's hard to grasp, but that's what Christ died for. So when I understood that, I was baptized to declare my commitment to Jesus Christ. And my back? A CT scan showed it was perfect. No one could explain it. They couldn't even call it a bulging disc. The only explanation is God intervened. There's been other instances where I could have easily died. Just recently, they found cancer in my stomach. I had an operation, chemo and radiation, and I thought the cancer was gone. Then 8 months later, the cancer reappeared in my lymph nodes. That was depressing. I thought my life was over. But I've been cancer-free for over 2 years now. I look at my life very differently than I used to. When I look back to when I started my business in '82, there was a recession. It got tough, but I decided to give financially to the church. I had never done that before, but because I thought I never had anything to give. But it seemed the more I gave, the more I had. There's no explanation other than God provides. I'm ready to die anytime God calls me, but I'm not in a hurry. God has saved me all these times, and I believe He still has a plan for me. I used to live for myself, and all I worried about was having a good time. But what's more important is knowing God, living for Him, letting Him use me, and believing He will provide and care for me, no matter what.